Well, good morning. This is the 2025 Honda Hornet 750, and over the past few years I would say it's the king of middleweight naked bikes. But as with everything, times have changed. Yamaha has updated the MT-07 for 2025 with radial brakes, upgraded suspension, which has made me interested to ride this facelifted Honda Hornet 750 to see how they compare and if this is still the king of naked bikes or whether the MT-07 has taken the throne now. So to find out today, we're going to go on the highway to test its comfort. We're going to ride to one of the most beautiful places in the Netherlands, the Veluwe Nature Reserve. They have some beautiful twisty roads there, there's some nice walking paths. And then finally, we're going to ride it around town to see how it handles the day-to-day stuff. So yeah, is this Hornet 750 still the king of middleweight naked bikes? Let's hop on and find out.
Look at this, a Peugeot 107. That's like a mini MPV. It's so quirky. Okay, so little highway comfort report. I don't think you can ask for a more comfortable middleweight naked bike. This is basically as good as it gets. The engine is very smooth. There's basically zero vibrations to the handlebar. There's only a minute amount of vibrations to the foot peg. Of course, you do sit in the wind, but that's what you sign up for when you buy a naked bike. The engine still has a nice amount of roll power like this if you want to overtake someone. The seat, it seems perfectly adequate. I think if you are going to be riding 8 to 10 hour days, you are going to end up with a sore backside. So conclusion, Hornet 750 on the highway, perfectly capable. Oh, one more thing I really want to add. Honda, come on, just cruise control. Every single time I ride a new Honda, they're pretty much all ride by wire, and none of them have cruise control. And on a bike like this, it's not the end of the world because it's a performance naked bike. But still, if you already have it ride by wire, just add cruise control. Well, look at this. This is already not a typical Dutch landscape. For those of you who don't know, the Netherlands means basically it translates to low country, because a large part of this country is below sea level, which also means it's very flat. So this nature reserve having some hills and some elevation is actually insane. It's so unusual. Wow. Look at these tight twisties. Yeah, boy. Time for lunch.
Alright, so what do we have for lunch today? 2 sandwiches and chocolate croissant, vitamin well hydrate, rhubarb, strawberry, also very good stuff, chicken. And then finally, because I'm trying to be a healthy boy, hummus for on the sandwiches.
Not a bad spot. Now it's getting kind of cold. It's a bit cloudy, so I'm just going to put in the liner of my jacket. Which perfectly brings me to this gear you see me wearing. As some of you may know, I've worked at a motorcycle gear shop for 7 years of my life. There's always this compromise between safety and quality and style and comfort and fit. So it's always been difficult to find the right balance, you know. Some manufacturers, they make really safe gear, but then it's either expensive or really stiff, so not that comfortable or not that stylish or doesn't fit the body that well. So I was always on the lookout for good gear that fit me, that was safe, but also felt stylish and comfortable. To me, the brand that has always made this compromise the best is Pandamoto. So these are their Desert Cargo jeans and Falcon Aviator leather jacket, which they've kindly sent out to me. And they're actually the sponsor of this video, which is crazy. I've been wearing the gear for 7 years now, which is why I'm very excited that they've decided to sponsor this video. These pants, they have so many pockets, which is great for me because I like to put in all my different filming gear in different pockets. You can put your phone in the zipped pocket. The jacket, at first, to be honest, bomber jackets are not necessarily my style, but this one is very light, it's very comfortable, it's so flexible, and it fits me so well. There's a nice bit of stretch because it's leather, it's going to form to your body, and it doesn't look out of place when you go into town and you go out for dinner or you have to walk your dog or something. You still look like a normal person. So the only thing Pandamoto asked me to mention is their lifetime warranty. So if you do crash in one of their products and you send them the picture and the story of how the crash happened, they will actually replace your gear for free. which I think is amazing. So I will put a discount link in the description if you are interested. You can use code Rick at checkout for 15% off. 15, 1-5, not 50. I see you there. And yeah, just absolutely so excited that a brand I've loved for so many years has decided to sponsor the video and just help me out, you know. Thank you so much. Now, gonna finish my lunch and then we'll hit these great roads. I'll tell you what this Hornet 750 is like to ride on them, and yeah, just enjoy the day.
Alright, so what is the 2025 Honda Hornet 750 like to ride on a twisty road like this? Well, first off, it's fast. It's very, very fast. A lot faster than I was expecting, and a lot faster than the MT-07. There's just so much mid-range, so much top end. And I know some of the journalists have said this bike does amazing wheelies. Ooh, nice little rocket tree. And I can totally see where they're coming from, because the torque just comes in so punchy. The suspension also feels very good, very confidence inspiring, very stable. I would say it's comparable to the new MT-07 suspension. It's nothing fancy, you know, it's not adjustable Öhlins, but it doesn't need it. It's just very good, very well set up. And the brakes also work very well. They're very accurate. They're not too sharp, but they still have a decent amount of bite. There's more than enough stopping power. The engine sound is quite interesting. I think generally when you're just riding around normally, it sounds quite sedate, but when you do rev it out a little bit more, there's a lot of induction noise. And it sounds quite nice actually, especially considering the fact that this is a stock exhaust. I visited a friend of mine yesterday and he said he could hear me coming from all the way down the street, so yeah, it definitely has some bassy thump to it. Low speed throttle response is also excellent. The fueling is really nice, so there's no snatchy throttle, which makes it really easy to ride around these slow corners. Riding position is nice and neutral. You have a little bit of weight over the front end, and in general it makes you ride like a bit of a dick. I think the MT-07 feels a little bit more playful on a road like this, and this is more on the serious side, like serious performance. Which is no bad thing, you know, it's just personal preference. It's just what you want, but it feels beautiful through these flowing corners. So yeah, overall, big thumbs up for me on the Hornet 750 on the twisty road. Good fun, excellent performance. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see it, but there's a Chinook helicopter over there flying, and it's got a Jeep tied to the other side of it. Wow. Holy crap. Okay, so I'm almost home, but I quickly just wanted to touch on the aesthetics of this motorcycle. Personally, I think some of it looks pretty cool. I think the general lines and the proportions are pretty good. I'm not the greatest fan of this facelifted headlight. I do like that it's all full LED and it's pretty bright. But yeah, the whole aesthetic just isn't necessarily my thing. I have to say I'm also not the biggest fan of some of the detailing on this. So if you look at the swing arm back here, it's basically just a 2x4. There isn't much sculpture or much nuance to it. It's just a straight piece of bar. I also think the engine over here looks a little bit, I don't know, flat. And this is just basically one big flat surface. You can definitely tell that this is not the most expensive bike on the market. And that's fine, you know, because it's not. It's not the most expensive bike on the market. But you can definitely tell here and there, like this plastic over here. Hold on. This plastic over here, it's pretty nasty, scratchy plastic, you know. And it is contrasted by this beautiful blue paintwork. It's very bright, it's very saturated, and it also has this really lovely metallic fleck to it in the sunlight. So you have some beautiful parts. The paint is beautiful. The handlebar switches all feel high quality. It's just that some parts let the overall attention to detail and build quality down. I mean, it's a Honda, so you know it's going to be reliable, you know everything is of good quality, but I just think that some of the materials could be a little bit better. But hey, then the entire bike would be more expensive, so it's always a trade-off, you know. So now it's getting a bit late, so I'm going to head home, sleep on this bike for a night. Tomorrow we're going to ride it in the city to see how it handles the day-to-day stuff, and then finally I'll give you my conclusion on this Hornet 750. Well, good morning. Welcome to day 2 on the Honda Hornet 750. The weather has turned sadly, so we got some rain this morning, but it's dry right now. And today I'm gonna head into Amsterdam city center. Low speed stability is very good. It's very easy to come to a slow stop or maneuver around traffic. Back brake has good feel, it's in a good position, so it's easy to use, which is critical around town, of course. Engine has plenty of poke to get you out of trouble or to launch away from traffic lights when you want to make a gap to the rest of the cars. Mirrors are surprisingly good visibility, very clear, no buzzing. And to give you a little bit of an update on the fuel economy, right now it's reading 4.3 liters per 100 kilometer. And that's over the last 200 kilometers we did in the past days. So yeah, that's definitely not bad. About the same as an MT-07, I'd say. Which is pretty good considering the fact that this does have more horsepower than the MT-07. Engine is very smooth at these low speeds. You can lug it around if you want. Like third gear, 2000 RPM. Still smooth, still pulls. I know that overall all of these segments have been kind of short. I've been like, you know what? This bike is excellent. That's it, you know, full stop. But I think that's kind of what you want from a motorcycle like this, right? You want it to be a jack of all trades. And if that's the mission Honda set out to achieve, they've done it very well here.
Alright, so conclusion time for the 2025 Honda Hornet 750. Is it still better than the MT-07? I think if you prefer a more playful riding experience, you will still like the MT-07 more, because it has a little bit more low-down torque and a little bit more punch. But if you are a more sporty rider, so maybe you want to do a track day, or you just want to attack the corners, or you like revvy engines, I think the Hornet is a better pick. It's got similar suspension, they've got similar brakes, similar riding positions. So yeah, I would say the main differentiating factor is what kind of rider are you? What kind of energy do you want from a motorcycle? So yeah, that being said, I'll leave it here. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you have a nice day.